Nullamore, and this is Journey Through Miro, and these are my boys. Say hello, boys.
Hello, boys.
They're going to introduce themselves
Hi.
now.
Hello, I am the fiance of the Knoll. I'm also an author. Once March 30th rolls around, you can get my book. I also do a bunch of other stuff like run a D&D game that's probably not going to have another session this month because schedules and things. Hopefully next month. We shall see. Um, yeah.
Hello there. I am the Black Doctor, also known here on Journey from Miro as Balgroth the Dog. You can find me on TikTok, YouTube, Patreon. You can also, if you want to support my work, check out my GoFundMe because I'm gonna need that money so I can fund my trip to London in May. So yeah,
Did you start off your intro with a really fake accent and then give up partway through?
yes, I'm tired.
I feel you. I feel you. I've been faking this accent the whole time you've known me, and I am exhausted. I am at
And now he starts
Jitsu.
speaking Swahili.
Yeah. I'm at Jitsu on TikTok, Twitter, or X, and Instagram now, uh, in that order. And I play the role of Isaiah Yeager, Magus extraordinaire, and the kindest member of the party, in a Randian sense.
Okay. Who can give me the recap from the last session?
We basically pulled a Pink Panther to go over to this secret island. Uh,
We caught Magic Dragged.
yeah, we basically did get magic dragged. Um, we sort of snuck out of the land under the cover of darkness. Um, for some reason, the ones who should be the stealthiest almost got discovered. But it was fun, and now we're on this secret island where the trees used to be people.
Treeple.
Tweet.
Treeple. And I wanted to fly, but no.
So that's inspiration for Jeremiah and Stephen.
Yay. Oh, for me, not for you yet.
Yeah, sure.
I am now slightly better at life.
All right. And where we left off, you guys were all still on the island, and
We have a
it
boat to
is
get back now, though.
yes, it is very deep into the evening. 1.5 full moons alight the sky with the sea of stars kind of casting their reflections against the smooth waves of the sea at your feet. And Seth has given you his ship to return back to the mainland, as he himself has sat beneath the tree that you now know is called a Koli, that has been magically created from the death of his father. And you all get onto the ship. And it's a small ship, but it's not like a rowboat or anything. Do any of you know how to sail?
I would
It's basically like
surmise
a
that
car.
Balgroth has
I'm
some
proficient with
training.
land vehicles.
Land vehicles. I mean, I would have guessed because like Balgroth is royalty. He would have at least some training.
You go boating often in the frozen wasteland you're from?
Or at least
Oh,
tried.
you see, you from
Because of
Ohio,
the
boy. What you know about water?
I know that I can't swim.
Now
Um,
that's
It's because
uh,
I'm a half orc, isn't it?
the three of you can roll survival to see um, how well you can deal with this boat.
For a second, I thought I didn't have a survival skill. I couldn't find it. Oh,
It doesn't
no.
even look like you have one, honestly.
Ah! How rude.
See, for some reason my character sheet is not loading for me, so bear with me.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
can
Maybe
hardly
Maybe
bear
here we
it.
go.
the brand name magazines usually load better than the off-brand.
Told you.
All right. So Yip Yap, you.
12.
I what?
Yip Yap has been the only one of the three of you, maybe actually on a ship. I don't know that for sure though. But he doesn't know how to deal with the ship, so he's lost. Whereas,
I'm like trying the oar, but like the handle knob of it is I'm trying to paddle with that.
so Balgroth and Isaiah take the lead and sort of sail back, putting down the.
We're about to Jack Sparrow this, aren't we?
Yeah, sure. And Seth kind of doesn't really say anything to you three as you depart. He just sort of lifts a hand in goodbye without really acknowledging you, other than that.
Oh.
And your sail back is very smooth. It takes about an hour, which is enough time for a short rest if you feel the need to take one. And by the time you get back, it is still within curfew hours.
Hmm. You want to stay on the ship, or should we sneak back in?
Sure, we can
It is
sneak
within
back.
curfew hours?
Yes, it is still pretty. At this point, it's more like really, really early morning, but like the sun is not even up
I mean,
yet.
we could just wait for curfew to be over.
Okay.
Yeah, wait for first light.
All right. You guys can wait on the ship. If you want, you can take like a full rest on the ship. It won't. It will not be comfortable though.
I haven't used any of my abilities, so I'm good.
Just stay up all night. All right.
I'll take a nap
All
while
right.
they keep things safe.
I'll take
Yip Yap
it.
fell asleep on the way back and has just been all over long run. Not that I reap any benefits. But...
Yeah, that's fair. Cool. So, you guys sit and wait for dawn as the sun rises. You hear the bells of the temple ringing, signaling that curfew is now out of effect. And it's a nice, bright morning. And where will you go from the docks?
Well, let's see.
Yip starts off his morning right by drinking while you decision make.
I guess we have to put an end to Jacoby.
Right?
Any objections? How are we doing this?
Yeah, if you wanted me to assassinate someone, we should have done it under nightfall.
Do you want to wait for
I
tonight
could
and then
still kill
assassinate him?
Yeah, sure. I can
His
sneak
powers work
in.
during the daytime, Yip Yap.
I can sneak
I mean-
in and I can slit his throat.
Perhaps.
But I mean, wouldn't it be better just to simply do it in public? Because I mean, this is literal insurrection,
I mean, you kind of need a resist. You
and I
kind of need
think
like a.
the people need to know.
You kind of need like a lot of people behind your back if you're gonna do public execution, Balgraf.
Then why don't we, try to expose him, or at least reveal some of this stuff? We literally have a prince's testimony. Well, had a prince's testimony.
Ooh. How do we do that? Wouldn't they just like they could just like catch us and lock us up and kill us or something?
Have you ever seen anyone in this city strong enough to kill us?
I mean,
The only one who has actually managed to kill us is us.
Wow.
Us is a strong
I
word on both
mean,
counts.
you remember Rector?
I didn't have any time marks, did I?
But like, there's only you lost. But there's only 3 of us, and there's a lot of the guards, so that's a lot to 3.
I look upon a sea of them. All I see is a sea of cowards and dead men.
I mean, maybe if we start like a little rumor around, then maybe we can Les Mis this Rob.
Oh my. I think it may do well to at least separate Jacoby from others.
I agree. Maybe have a private meeting with him?
Sure. But what is our plan here? Is it to kill him? Is it to capture him? What is the end game?
I want to get a confession out of him before he dies.
What are we looking to accomplish for this kingdom? If we simply kill a ruler, yes, we've killed someone bad, but I'm sure someone would take his place, or worse, no one would. And we
I mean,
still
there's always
do we think he is Para's representative?
I mean, there's always the king on the throne to take his place.
Or his
Not-
younger brother, or his brother.
His
There's
brother,
3 of them.
the other brother knows and is going along with it.
Oh, we can kill him too. All power should go back to the guy who it belongs to.
But he can't rule.
What do you mean? Of course he can. He just needs help.
Who's going to help him?
I don't know. I'm not psychic.
Right, so he can't rule.
Of course he can. Oh, you're just. There was a kobold who got his legs blown off by a
Cripples can
goblin.
barely be kings. What do you think of
We
someone that
didn't-
can't talk, speak, see, or hear? He can barely think.
How do you know? Have you been inside his mind?
Yes.
See, you should be his vizier.
He can't afford me.
Well, then someone
Well,
less
I mean, if
prideful should do it.
Well, if we're going to put someone on the throne, I mean, it might as well be the court jester. I mean, might be smart enough to even know what's going on. But, I mean, of course, that's not necessarily
He'd
a good
be a good
idea.
person to involve. Let's go
Yeah,
find the jester.
Is the jester a mind reader?
Look, guys, I wasn't serious, but
We're going
okay,
to find the jester.
Is
okay,
he a mind reader? I forgot.
sorta, kinda.
Yeah,
I
Maybe.
he can
mean,
be.
is it all? No.
He
But
can be the mouth. He can be the
figure it out.
mouthpiece of.
the other
he can be-
fish man could read minds, as I recall.
He can
He
be the
could.
mouthpiece of the king.
Maybe they can all do that.
Hmm.
Or maybe not. Not all humans can read minds.
No,
It's
Not
not
all
a
of them.
genetic trait.
So you guys go looking for the jester?
Yes.
Where do you go looking?
His house.
in the places
No.
where people gesticulate
this-
the most when they speak.
Wasn't it the same place we found him last time?
The
like
jester
somewhere in the castle, like that
Yeah.
that secret compartment in the castle.
It was just in the back alleyway for servants, but yeah, you don't know if he's there all the time. You don't know if that's where he lives. That's just where he was.
Hmm. That's true.
But if you want, you three can make an investigation. Yeah, investigation roll.
Balgroth, I just don't get why he's so adamant on replacing a perfectly fine king.
Wow, very good rolls this time. Well, the problem is Yip Yap
Yes, I'm feeling quite investigative.
is that he's not very fine.
I wouldn't say he's the whole problem, Balgroth.
Half of the problem.
I mean, you know, he just needs help.
They're helping keeping him alive, friend.
Rulers must be strong, not vegetative.
And speak softly and carry a big stick.
Strength
Yeah,
And
comes
he
in how
can't
you
even hold a
use.
big stick.
Strength comes in how you use your power. Kiriga never went into battle with us.
Well, apparently that's fine because Kiriga was. Never mind. Yep. The point is, if Kiriga couldn't have done anything, then Kiriga wouldn't have been strong. There's a difference between choosing to not use strength and being impotent.
Being what?
Weak.
Oh,
He's right. A good king knows how to use restraint, but he's useless if he has no strength.
hmm.
You see what we mean?
What did you mean by keeping him alive?
He's sick.
Oh, well, we should make him some soup.
A good gesture,
Yep,
but
you
I
are
don't think
aware of what's going on here. You're not this ignorant of the situation. You saw him with no eyes, no ears, and no mouth, having to have children pretend they were reading his mind to communicate with him. That's
Isaiah,
He
Isaiah,
had an
Isaiah.
ears, eyes. He had ears, eyes, and a mouth. He just couldn't use them.
Did he even
So
have
so
eyes?
you so you get it.
Mhm.
So you get it. He can't use them. But remember, to be a good king, he needs them. He needs his eyes to see right and wrong. He needs his mouth to declare justice. He needs his ears in order to hear the good things and the bad things. So he needs those things and he can't have them. But that's what a good king needs. A ruler must be able to hear the judgments of his people.
Sounds like a bunch of ableism to me. Yip waddles away.
Then he waddles away.
What do we see?
I start beating him with a stick.
So you three ask
Don't
around. You three ask around, avoiding the guards because you don't know if you can trust them or not. You ask around with some of the like shopkeepers and people that are coming out of their homes to go for walks, go start their day, and you discover that yes, the jester does live at the castle. He spends most of his time there and usually goes for walks just on the weekends or whatever during his downtime. So you, I suppose, you guys would go back to the servants' entrance, knowing this now.
Yes.
Do you remember how to open the servants' entrance?
It was like a secret password, wasn't it?
We knock, right? You just say knock.
Oh, high five, ghost.
He's not
Yes.
there right now. You guys approach it and knock on it, and a little stone near the bottom of the wall pushes out, and a hand curls out.
Ugh.
That gnarled, zombie-looking hand, the ghastly nails.
Hogwarts smacks it in a makeshift high five.
Entrance, and it curls its fingers back, and the door slides open, and you see the halfling just kind of standing there. Hi. Did you need to see the jester again?
Yeah.
Well, well, I don't really know where he is right now. I know that he came in this morning. I saw him walking around. I haven't seen him since then, though.
Has he said anything about where he's going?
No.
Hmm.
He kind of just walks around the castle sometimes, I guess. But he seemed nervous.
Is he just there to entertain?
Yes. He was brought on by the king to be entertainment during a kind of sullen time in the kingdom, and it worked.
Interesting. Well,
I don't think anyone would mind if we just simply wander around the castle looking for him, would we?
Well, considering you've met a few times with Jacoby, I guess he wouldn't see anything wrong about that, although you should probably tell him you're here. If he finds you just, or if a guard finds you just walking around, they might assume something bad.
What would ever assume something bad of a kobold, a half orc, and a human walking around the castle uninvited.
And I am a prince after all. I do sort of
Oh,
have
and I'm a
more
kobold.
reign over this place.
Right. Yeah, we can do that, I suppose. We need a good reason that we'd be walking around. What's our good reason?
Touring over the
Uh,
palace? I've seen it once, but I kind of want to see it again.
All right.
And plus, Yip Yap has probably lost a button somewhere, and so he's still looking to find it.
how did you know? I didn't tell anyone. How did you know?
So,
I know folks.
do you guys look for Jacoby, or you just start walking around?
I say we just start walking and avoid him as often as possible.
Yeah.
So,
We're gonna say we're looking for him.
So you go through the servants' tunnels and go through this entrance that brings you through a kitchen where cooks are just starting up cooking meals. And they see you come out of the servants' entrance. Some of them kind of like watch you for a second, but they kind of keep their heads down, not really wanting to bother and just do their job.
Nice.
And so I guess if you're actively looking for the jester and also actively avoiding Jacoby, need an investigation and a stealth roll.
Should be no problem.
Let's see. Investigate.
Should be no problem at all.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Clink, clink, clink
Yeah.
goes Balroth down the hall.
I'm the prince. I can do whatever the heck I want.
I'm trying to sneak, but the
There's
cling
literally
clang
like
of my
theme music
armor.
coming around with you. It's like a tuba with clanging in the background.
Colonel, I'm trying to sneak around, but I'm dummy thick, and the
All
clank
right,
in my
well-
armor keeps alerting the guards.
Yip Yap takes this very seriously and is darting behind like potted plants and pillars, trying to get out of eyesight of anyone walking down the hall. Doing a pretty good job at it. And Yip Yap, you try a couple doors as you go past them, but you don't really know if you have the time to lockpick all of the locked doors you passed.
Hmm.
I'll say if you want to pick locks, do you want to?
I'll try maybe one that feels I'm testing each one with my most basic shim, and anyone that feels like maybe I could get this one. I'll take a crack at it.
Roll a d6.
/R1d6.
You don't manage to find one that unlocks that easily.
Oh.
Balgroth, you are looking around. You're kind of watching Yip Yap try the doors, but you don't really say anything about it. You're just making noise, just clanking down the hall in the pretty nice armor you have on. It is arguably very nice. And some guards kind of that are walking by, or servants that are walking by, all kind of like very obviously look at you three as they walk past, or at least you two. They don't notice you going around. And Isaiah, you managed to. So while you were kind of looking around, looking at the doors specifically, you notice that at the end of the hall, it is not more extravagant looking than the other doors by any means. It's not bigger or anything. It's at the end of the hall. It has a crown carved in at the top of it. Other than that, all the doors either have some letter carved into it or some symbol that would say or allude to what could be behind the room, but this is the first crown you've seen.
I'll bet you it's the jester's room. Let's go in there.
Maybe the lockpick it.
You try the door and it is not locked.
Dang it.
Oh,
You're
I
welcome.
lock it and then unlock it with my picks.
I cast lock
Just-
and then knock.
Oh, that makes a loud noise.
I'm not actually going to do it.
Okay. um. So yes, you walk in, and it looks like a small library of sorts. Like it's very like four walls sort of room, but each wall, other than the wall that's on the side of the door, just floor to ceiling bookshelves and a desk kind of carved into a curve sitting in the middle of the room with an empty chair that is not pushed into the desk, is askew.
I look through the desk drawers.
Three of them are locked. Give me a second.
Not for long.
In the one that is not locked, you find a book that you don't know the cover of because you can't read.
Autograph.
I
I just
found
put it
a
up
book.
there. I try picking the locked one.
All right, Balgrath, yeah,
yeah. I
Yep,
picked
yeah,
up the-
hands
I
you
picked
the
up
book. And the cover just says, potions popularized by people.
Potions
And it's just
popularized by people.
it's just a very simple like potion sort of cookbook.
I toss it over to Isaiah. This will help you.
I thought you were just gonna like throw it at a wall or something.
This book.
Useless.
Casting. Oh, this book. Ah, yes. Casting Yesteryear.
So yeah, you go to unlock the other drawers. You need to roll sleight of hand for all three of them.
I think I'll skim this book while they're doing it.
How's a nat 30?
Dang, dude.
Wow.
So the potion has the potion book has just simply common potions. Nothing extraordinary or rare or anything like that. Just simple potions that if you want to keep the book, I can make a list of later.
I might keep it depending on how this goes.
All right. Okay. So yep, you managed to unlock two of the drawers. Why do I keep wanting to say shelves? You unlock two of the drawers. In the first one, you find a sort of folder, like an envelope folder thing, that is closed and is stamped, like sealed, with something scrawled on front of it.
Is it like something you could like pester to like billow up the cover and see inside?
No. In the second drawer, you find some more books, mostly notebooks of drawings and like seems hastily written down things that you can't read.
Huh. This makes no sense. What on earth? Just a bunch of drawings and words.
That's usually what books are, Yip Yap.
Why can't they just be pictures? I like picture books. Oh, also envelope.
Yes. So the envelope he hands you, it has the wax seal of the royal insignia, and written on it is a address that is somewhere in Setia, the most eastern continent of Miro.
I opens it.
You break the seal?
No, I literally stick a finger from the top and move it down the line. Use a small knife.
Okay. You open
Jacoby
it up,
will remember that.
and You open it up.
Jacoby's gonna
And-
die.
The first a puff of gas comes out, your face melts off.
Again?
Again. Bone melting gas.
The first thing you see is that there is a small object in this envelope. Stop. There's a small envelope in this object. And it looks like a sort of brass ball with some parts sticking up. And as you fiddle with it for a moment, you quickly realize that it is a puzzle. It's a
the Quidditch
puzzle
snitch.
sort of thing that you don't know how it works exactly. You don't know if something is inside of it or if it's just for fun or what have you. But you know it is a puzzle, and it is not finished. And with it are several pages of a letter addressed to someone named Faela. Faela. And TLDR of the letter is that this person really, really misses Faela and the kids. You don't know whose kids. They are only described as the kids. And that the writer of this letter wishes to see them again soon. Things are weird happening in the kingdom right now. There are mentions of changelings, rumors of usurpation, hostility within the guard ranks, a lot of messy things. And you get to the end of the letter, and it is not signed. It says sincerely, and then nothing.
How
Sincerely,
peculiar.
no.
How
Do I
would
sense
one
something
send a
magical in
letter?
this room or about
and
this
not sign
puzzle
it?
or anything?
You don't really feel any magic in the room.
No detection.
He starts fiddling with the puzzle to see if that might have something to help.
Roll a sleight of hand.
Oh boy. Let's see. Sleight O hand. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Not that bad.
Not too bad.
You mess around with it. You manage to get so the way that the puzzle is set up, it is a ball and it has like prongs coming out of it. It kind of looks like a sea urchin, and the goal is to push down all of the spines at once, but some of them push up other ones and what have you. And you manage to get about half of it down, and you press the next one, and all of them pop back up again.
Yeah. Here, he tosses it to Yip Yap.
Yep. Roll sleight of hand with a disadvantage.
Can I spend one of my inspirations to make that just a straight roll?
Sure.
Booyah.
Those are my sorcery points. There we go.
And that's why I gave it to Yip Yap.
So, yep, you managed to get all of the prongs down, and the ball starts to kind of vibrate in your hand before it suddenly shoots out into a staff.
Am I king now? Is that how this works?
If so,
This
we'll
the-
need 2 assassinations today.
Is this the one ball staff? Wait, ball groff, ball staff? Maybe this is for you.
I take the staff and just simply look at it.
All right, roll investigation.
All stuff, really.
Yeah, what?
Uh,
It was a ball, now it's a staff.
Heavens to Betsy.
For
I'm
sure.
just allured by this thing.
You can tell that there's some sort of spring mechanism, obviously, within it that is hidden by this. It looks like a silver casing, but you can tell that it's not pure silver. And then the bottom end is just like a flat surface, whereas the ball it was inside is the top of the staff with all of the prongs extended.
This is really interesting. I'm surprised. I wonder who made this. I don't think I've ever seen this sort of thing before. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I might steal it.
I kind of like it.
It's going to be mine.
I like this. I have it.
Finders, keepers.
Walk into this
Spring.
room. You have no idea whose room this is. You steal a book, and then something that is clearly
A letter that's not yours, immediately open it.
Stole no book yet.
Open someone
Oh.
else's mail.
Yep.
mail that has not been delivered. So now it never will, I guess.
And now it never will.
So, you do anything else in this room?
So is there a third drawer?
Burn it down.
Was there another drawer that was locked?
Yes.
Keep yap.
Oh yeah.
Get to it. You're good for one thing.
Do your job.
Do your job.
Yip Yap is like a living Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
You're going to pick this lock, and you're going to like it.
Okay, so you managed to undo the fourth and last drawer of this desk. And inside are pictures. Well, inside is a smaller box that is not locked, and inside of that box are pictures.
Gotcha.
And they are pictures of a man you don't recognize, a woman you do not recognize, and 4 kids you do not recognize. They're of varying, like, how many are in the picture, where they are, what they're doing, all that. It's a number of pictures. The man is very human-esque. He has, like, just tannish skin, blonde hair, dark eyes, and he wears nice clothes, but not noble clothes, just finely tailored. The woman has gray skin and reddish hair with dark red eyes. And the kids share a combination of these traits.
What does it mean, Barbara? What does it mean?
What is this? Should we burn it?
Why are there
This
small? Oh wait, I've interacted with children. Never mind.
Yeah, you know what children are. Yep, I know.
Children.
What's with all these hassles?
One of them almost tried to,
What's with all
dissect
these-
you.
What's with all these hassles?
Well,
Is it normal for humans to own halflings?
whose office is this?
Not until 1978.
Is there anything in the room that would indicate whose place we're in?
Other than the letters in the picture, not really.
Mhm.
I'm going to put the book back for the moment.
Are there any sort of names on the back of these pictures?
There are dates and places. No names.
Okay.
Cool. Did you guys close the door after you came into this room?
No.
Okay, so from
Oh, no.
behind you, you hear someone call out, "What are you 3 doing in there?" And you turn to see it as a guard who
Big
doesn't
part-
look angry or like anything. He's just kind of concerned.
Big pardon. We had seen the crown on the door and thought it was the prince's room.
Why would you need to be in the prince's room?
Well, not the prince's bedroom, but the place where he was located. We were looking for him. We've been looking around the castle and we haven't seen him.
Is he okay?
Well, yes, he's okay. He was in the conference hall for a while, but now he's in the throne room.
Oh.
Well, what are you 3 doing here? And I didn't see you come inside from the front.
Oh, we've been here for a while. How long have we been here, Wolroth?
I don't know, probably around an hour or so. We've been wandering around.
Yes, it was strange, but very well. We'll make our way to the conference room. You said the conference hall,
Well, he's not there anymore.
throne room, rather, throne room.
Do I need to show you through the way?
No,
Do we know the way?
I think we know them. I think we know the way.
All right. Have a blessed day. And the guard walks off down the hall.
And
Balgar wipes off that tiny bead of sweat.
From the mask.
Balgrog, the throne room.
Nailed it.
Do you know the way?
I do know the way, my Buddha.
Excellent.
But are we going to go? No.
Why
At
are you
least not
running?
yet.
So do you all leave the office room?
Yes.
What are
Yeah.
y'all's passive perceptions?
No.
Excellent question.
Probably like a 10, I think. Yeah.
14.
Yeah.
Isaiah, as you follow down the hall, down Balground and Yupia, you notice that the guard you talked to was sort of standing at a corner of the hall, and as you walk past him, he heads back towards the room, and you watch as he goes inside and closes the door behind him.
Now,
Go
I
back in!
assume you guys did not just leave stuff lying out in obvious places. You
Oh,
closed.
Balground, do you still have the staff?
No, I was sort of like fiddling with trying to put it back in the letter.
The whole
the
staff?
staff.
No, just
The
like
whole
trying to
ball
bring it
staff?
down and then put it down to the letter. So I couldn't. So I put the letter down and put the staff on top of it.
Okay. Cool.
So I didn't take anything. I wanted to, but I didn't.
Okay. Yep, you didn't take anything?
I kind of
But I
want
do
the
kind of want to go
staff.
back in.
I kind of wanted the staff.
Do you want to see if you're able to take it without Balgroth noticing?
Yeah.
Alright, roll stealth. Roll a preamble stealth. So, Balgroth, you set the ball staff down. Before all of that happened, rewind. You set the ball staff down. Because you were sort of angry that you couldn't somehow put it back into his puzzle form. And you just kind of placed it on the desk, and you three left after the guard. And then it's not until you're a little bit out of the ways of the office when you see Yip Yap scuttle up beside you. And it's not until now that you realize that he is holding the staff.
I'm just straight dragging it behind me.
It's about the size of you, yeah, or the height of you, so yeah.
Yip yap! What are you holding?
The ball staff,
Movie.
Balgraf.
But I put that down. We were supposed to leave it.
You can't just grab people's ball staffs and do what you will with them.
I mean, he wasn't using it, clearly.
But you can't do that without consent.
Isn't that what your humans say? Use it or lose it?
Not in this
Not when
context.
it comes to ball staffs. What are you?
Go put the ball staff.
Is there a place you can hide that? Just put it behind a statue?
There's a lot of foliage and just
Or
kind
like
of
a plant.
I'll fiddle with it. I'll fiddle with it to see if I can condense it again.
Sleight of hand. You manage to put it back in its base puzzle form. So it's back to the ball.
Okay, hide
I
that.
put it in one of my Batman-esque pouches.
Cool. So we will take about 10-minute break there. And when we get back, I don't know where you guys are going. I've forgotten. Are you going to the conference hall or the
We don't know
throne
where
room?
we're going either.
All right, we'll get to it. We'll be right back.
You're wandering, bro.
Getting over it with Yip Yap No Tail.
Oh, great.
Imagine just that whole game but narrated by Yip Yap.
Oh, God. That would be terrible.
Yip Yap philosopher. Sometimes the biggest step is folk.
Sometimes the biggest step ends with you falling into a ditch.
Wait, let me look up some random quotes from that. Just say as
Philosophy
yeah.
quotes? Oh gosh, no.
No, specifically the getting over it with Bennett Foddy quotes.
Oh no.
Oof, you lost a lot of progress. That's a deep frustration. A real punch in the gut. You know, I lost my tail once. And my dragon. It was sad. Let's see. The thing that we call failure is not the falling down, but the staying down. Mary Pickford.
Oh goodness.
Play music, Pour Me Blues by Edna Hicks. I don't know how to do that.
What's wrong, Polyphemus? I just feel like nobody cares about me. Well, my friend, I am nobody.
And I don't
That's
care about you so hard. I must rob even this comfort.
that's terrible.
Oh.
Poseidon's got a Susan now.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who's completely obsessed with Epic the musical?
Clearly not, but
Well, I'm sure someone else in the world is.
Because it's freaking amazing.
Epic the musical. What's epic?
it's a musical.
The musical, but it's based on the Odyssey. It's basically the Odyssey meets Hamilton.
I see.
And it's really good. It's made by like an indie songwriter and indie music player, and like it's incredibly popular. I think 4 sagas out of 10 are out now.
Well,
And it's freaking good. It's really freaking good.
nice.
You should listen. I highly recommend it.
All right. Perhaps I will.
Do it.
Do it now.
Do it.
Oh.
What have you been up to?
Work's been busy, so I've been doing a lot of that.
You're telling me.
Roaming the earth, as they say in the Bible.
That's what Satan does.
I know. I say it all the time, and like people very rarely catch it. But like, oh, what are you doing? Roaming the earth.
Just going to and fro.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, have you considered how my servant,
Have you considered my servant Job?
how blameless and upright he is?
Well, I've been trying my best to find some, good jobs so I can make sure to take care of my family when I get married.
Now, so I guess, are you not intending to do full-time clergy?
I am. And like over the development over the past 2 weeks, I think I might have everything taken care of.
Go
Because
on.
like in May, I get married. And then at the end of May, I go off to London if I have enough funds, which Lord willing I will have if I promote my stuff well enough.
Have you
So my
considered,
fiance and I will be able to go.
as far as money goes, have you considered jettisoning your morals?
I have, but I'm going into ministry, so I can't
That's never stopped
necessarily
a
do
minister
that.
before.
I'm not becoming a prophet for profit. I just preached on that today.
You can do it when the robes are off.
It's called a side hustle.
It's called a side gig, Batman. But after I get back from London, I have an internship that'll take care of most, if not all, of my expenses in during the summer. And then when I get back, I'll be able to work with another congregation in the same diocese for a curacy, which means that, I mean, if that works, by the time I go back to Florida, to officially permanently work there, I'll be a deacon. So the only thing that's pretty much not necessarily up in the air, but needs some more solidification is just what's going to happen once I come back from Florida in the summer to finish out my schooling.
Sure.
So, but to be honest with you, it's taken care of because I'm working with the 2 churches in my diocese that I need to work with. And
Nice.
my housing fees will probably be covered. I'll be able to get a stipend, so I'll be able to take care of myself and my fiance, or by then myself and my wife.
Hey.
And so I think everything's taken care of.
Praise God.
At the beginning of the month, I was literally panicking because I didn't know what I was going to do in order to provide. But now it seems like things are coming in hot.
There you go. Just make sure you don't have another major theological shift that makes you ineligible for this job.
No, yeah, I won't.
Exactly. There's money counting on it. That's a great incentive.
No, I mean like literally this is probably as high church as I'm going to go. I can't deny sola fide. I can't deny sola scriptura. I'm a Protestant.
You have to believe in yourself, if not the gospel.
No, that's New Ageism, believing in yourself.
That's me going Episcopalian.
Oh, well, hey, Actually, I know a guy. Well, I know a guy who.
Yeah, he built a boat.
Don't we all?
Yeah. So I forget if he went to Westminster or Covenant, wherever he went. He's much older than I am. This was like decades ago, I think. But he had a change of theological conviction, and the provost wouldn't give him his diploma because he was at whatever the equivalent of that would be. And he happened to see the head of the school at a coffee shop and talked to him about it. He finally got it straightened out. But,
wow.
Yeah. And it wasn't to be clear, it's not like he became Mormon or something. Even
right.
The diploma, but no, he's still a Christian and everything.
Oh,
right. He probably became Roman Catholic or Eastern Orthodox or something.
No, he became Baptist.
Speaking of,
I'd take it away too. Why do you become mid?
Why are you mid? Anyway, speaking of debatable things, Catholic challenged me to a debate on if Catholicism teaches works or teaches a false gospel will be the official title. So, what's funny is before he even defined, hey, we gotta stick to Catechism and Trent and the Bible, I was already presuming that and have in my opening statement a thing that we need to go by that and not individual apologists.
So we're not going to use Vatican I and Vatican II?
We don't talk
because Vatican I and Vatican II basically says, we almost agree on justification. So,
well,
if
Trent be Trent.
Trent says differently, and that's why I'll never become Roman Catholic. Vatican I and Vatican II contradict the Council of Trent, and I can't stand that.
Honestly, in evaluating,
what it seems to do is take people who don't have serious conviction and let them in, but you still have everything in Trent. You're like, well, that applies to people that know and still don't. So
right.
It's sort of just more of a universalist thing than saying you're a good guy thing.
Yeah, but researching that stuff in general is very interesting. After reading through the later ecumenical councils in depth, it's yeah, I'm not sure that I'm really actually on board with everything said here.
Nicaea 2 was trash. That was some trash.
You're trash, dude.
If you're I subscribe to the 7 or 8 first ecumenical, you've never read those ecumenical councils. There's stuff in Nicaea 1 you don't like.
I mean, I don't have too much of a problem with that. The first few, okay, but as you look at it, you start seeing the drift in the church.
Correct.
You sound.
I mean, I already know my next book is going to be on orthodoxy.
These were great men of God. God didn't give us your Bible. He gave us the church, and the church gave us the Bible. Stephen, you can't just jettison the councils that have kept his
Well,
church afloat for
actually, according to the authorship placement on my catechism, Saint Philaret of Moscow gave
You know who gave us the mosque? You know who gave
No,
us the
no,
Bible? Putin.
Okay. Let's put a pause there. Let's just end that with
He
Putin.
just loves to cut
That's
those. He
just
just like gets joy out of it. Like, I'm cutting this filth from my
well, I
program.
mean, like
well, you
this
are
isn't
the
a podcast
producer
for
of.
you guys to talk about Christianity. This is a
Listen.
D&D.
Listen, you can't get mad at our sexuality.
What?
What?
All right, let's get back to it, guys. So we're going on a bear hunt. We're gonna get your bear. What are we looking for?
Did you
Jester?
change from the last topic you brought up?
What?
So,
You're not theosexual?
where are you guys going? Balgroth, you are leading. Where are you?
Right. Yes. Exactly. We are going away from the throne room. I
Going
still want to
away
find
from
the
that
jester.
conversation.
Exactly. I still want to. I still want to find the court jester.
Yeah.
Because I still have the feeling he's around here somewhere.
How do I catalog my new toy in my inventory?
Puzzle ball.
Puzzle ball staff.
Okay.
So there's a following joke in there somewhere. I'm just gonna leave.
You
that
walk
there.
in the opposite direction of the throne room. Balgroth, I guess you have good direction for this. And it leads you down, well, up to a staircase that spirals up into a second story.
Hello. He basically shouts it up the staircase. See if it echoes.
It doesn't echo that much. It's a pretty open staircase.
All right. Anyone up for climbing?
Why not?
I'm used to spiraling.
Same. So you go up the stairs, and on the second floor is a lot less like individual rooms and more like chambers of sorts, with the big archways to sort of give an open vibe to everything.
Mm.
And there's not many people up here. There's not a lot of traffic. There's just some guards like standing on either end of the hall.
Hmm.
And they kind of watch you three curiously. And through each of the large archways there are 4 rooms in total down this hall, 2 on each side. And they're all decorated sort of the same way, with a large banquet type table in the center of it, with chairs. And at the either front or back of the room, a podium.
Is there anyone at the podium?
Nope, none of the rooms have anyone in them.
Mm.
There's no like cabinets or boxes or chests.
If you want to individually check the rooms, you roll investigation.
There were no packages, boxes, or bags.
In the words of the prince, any fly honeys?
Do I have to check for each, or is this an overall check?
I'll say that this was an overall check of you mostly following Balgoth and Isaiah and only getting glimpses into the rooms as you pass. And you see that there are like some cabinets along the walls. There's not really any chests or anything like that. And some bookshelves.
Well,
I
it
guess
looks like we
we'll
won't
head
find the
down.
jester here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Maybe
we'll
the
probably
real
go back
jester
down
was the friends we made along the way.
there. Yeah, I'm looking for the actual friend we made in the court jester.
Yes.
So I guess the only other option is, the throne room.
Throne room it is. Jesters are there sometimes.
Indeed.
Okay.
Or else would we
You
find one fit for a king except at the throne?
you go back down the staircase and find your ways to the throne room, which is pretty empty as well, with only a few guards, but not that many. Well, There's typically, from the other times you've been here, there have been 6 guards, 3 on each wall. There are now 2 on either. I'm sorry, 1 on either wall, and you hear this sort of murmur of conversation echoing around in the large room. As you approach, you see Jacoby sort of standing in the middle of the throne room, talking with 3 other men, one of whom you recognize, and 2 guards. The man you recognize is Captain Sai, the one you met on the dock.
Mm. Do we hear any of the conversation?
It's not a hushed conversation, but they're not speaking that loudly, sort of just to each other. You catch words of just like guards, curfew, and docks is what you gather.
He might be trying to
Whoops.
investigate.
I think that might be us.
Hey, as long as you don't act suspicious, we won't be suspicious.
Wait, regards?
Of a sort.
Oh.
Well, do we see the jester anywhere in here?
What sort are we guarding?
Vengeance.
You don't see the jester. But Captain Sai seems to hear you as his tail kind of slows or starts in a sway,
My voice is
and
very
he
distinct.
rolls his head to the side where you can see his good eye glinting at you. And he his tail kind of shakes, making a sort of rattling noise as the guards and Jacoby also turn around to see you 3.
Also, we back.
Ah, there you are.
Jacoby smiles at you 3 and steps forward, kind of opening his arms in his typical gesture. And he says, "Friends, I wasn't expecting you. How goes your investigation?"
It's, well, we've had some promising leads and some dead ends, sadly. We were not able to catch up with your brother. But we are trying to find the jester again. Someone said he might have seen something of note, although communicating with him is
difficult.
Yes.
I haven't seen the jester all day, so I can't help you there. I'm sorry.
It's all
Maybe
right.
he's at the park again.
Does he give an influence that he's lying?
Roll an insight if you want to vibe check.
Insight. I would also like to insight the prince.
Okay.
Never mind.
Okay, can I use my inspiration to re-roll that?
Yes, of course you can.
That's what it's for.
If it's lower, I'm gonna laugh.
I was about to say it's not that better.
Does Isaiah want a vibe check?
Oh, I always. In fact, I'm not only going to do a quick vibe check, but
detect thoughts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't see any pie honeys around. I don't see the need to do that.
Check.
You are a literal begone.
Oh, we are interested in trouble.
Hey. 7. Do they know outright if you're casting this?
Actually, let me. I was actually thinking that as he was saying. Let me double check one piece of this. Tech thoughts.
I think it's only if you go
Um,
deeper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Yeah, they only know if I go deeper. So
Okay. So none of you can really tell if he's like being truthful or not. Well, he sounds truthful. Isaiah, you kind of look into his head and you hear like sort of soft whispering of a few voices. And you hear Jacoby's voice. Why are they here? Why are they here?
now are these voices all coming from Jacoby's head or like
Yes.
the other? Oh.
What's wrong, Prince? Can't keep up.
Interesting. Multiple voices. Do I notice anything magical in the vicinity?
You sense enchantment
Hmm.
coming from something.
Do I sense anything? I will. Of course, this is enchantment. Is it good enchantment or bad enchantment?
It's good. You actually sense two things.
So it's a good enchantment, and what's the second? How do you mean?
What's the
So
second?
there are two things you can tell are enchanted. You can't
okay.
exactly tell where it's coming from though.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I
Keep
say we
talking.
continue to ask him questions.
Yeah, go for it. No one's stopping you.
Well, of course, we haven't seen the jester, and of course, we haven't found your brother. What are you guys doing in order to help, find him?
Well, as I said, he does this from time to time. It's temperamental. He always comes back within 24 hours or within a
Mhm.
day cycle.
Hmm.
If he's not back by sunsets, I will become worried and start looking for him, of course. I can't lose another family member.
That's true.
Do you think there's reason for worry about your brother?
Well, if he doesn't return within a day cycle, I would start to worry, as that is his typical regime. If he
Yep
were
is gonna
to.
Do I notice
Yep
any
Yep,
thoughts when I ask about his brother?
Yeah.
Yep is gonna pitter patter enough away that he can whisper to do uh the whisper spell without, or the message spell without Jacoby hearing. And I'm
Mhm.
gonna like just message Balgroth. Didn't we take his brother's boat? How how can he get back? You can reply to this message.
And I sort of
To call collect.
right, exactly. Um, I sort of, I guess, sort of whisper reply. What doesn't know won't hurt him.
Pitter
Isaiah,
patters back up.
Isaiah, you hear the thoughts kind of shift to still that sort of mumbling of just rat,
Rat or drat?
rat, sort of
Oh.
over and over again in a soft voice.
Rats, rats, where are the rats?
I was crazy once.
That was crazy. Once.
Okay, don't.
Kobold? I was a kobold once. Well, I
Stop.
still am
Stop.
actually.
Stop.
Well, I hope everything is all right with your young brother. I couldn't
What's
help.
he doing here? And I point to the captain.
Boy, he works here.
Sigh. Do you actually say that?
What? Why is he here?
Mhm.
Well, yeah, he's
Okay.
usually at the docks.
Sai kind of slowly puts a hand to his chest in a dramatic shock. I'm just talking with the prince. Can a man not do that?
Well, usually you're at the docks, so usually you don't necessarily are here. You're not necessarily here. And especially with somebody as serious as you're usually all business.
Just because you've always seen me at the docks doesn't mean I live there. I'm not some background character in a story. Um,
Boy, you're
and
literally
I
an
am
NPC. Don't
discussing,
get upset.
Literally, Balgroth with main character syndrome says, "Are you sure?"
and I'm discussing serious business with the prince.
Is that the fourth wall I hear shattering? Don't step on the glass, children.
Ah, well,
This would not be a child's play.
exactly. Um, what type of business? Just out of curiosity, if you're willing to share.
Show.
If you're willing to share with one prince, why not with another?
Well, I'm sharing it with him because it's his kingdom, and the business is trading.
Hmm. What exactly? I mean, we've traded with the king before, or with the prince before.
What did you trade?
Just the usual fishing stuff.
And he sort of tilts his head and then looks at the prince and then back to you. Right. All right.
He just smiles.
I couldn't help but hear you mention the curfew. Is there any idea when that might be lifted?
Well, the curfew was more Valen's idea, but I did agree with him. It will be lifted when we find the criminal that's missing.
Oh, very well. That makes sense. Um, all right. Well, if you haven't seen the jester, Balgroth, anything else you wanted to ask him?
Mm, he looks at him up and down. Nah, I'm good.
Uh, I'm curious
Wait,
on what happened. Oh yeah, yes.
what were you saying?
No, you go first.
I was gonna say, how long does the detect thought spell last?
1 minute.
Okay, it's been more than a minute.
All right. Um,
Cast it again before we leave.
I I kind of want to cast dispel magic and see what happens.
Uh, can all right. Cast dispel magic. Um, Nothing really changes
No, I'm
outright.
not doing. I'm sorry. Like before you say like I'm not doing it. I'm pondering doing it.
Okay.
Are you pondering what I'm pondering?
I have a cool thing about that. But I'll
Pondering.
talk about it after. The ponder. It's a Pinky in the Brain thing. Talk about it after.
I could just cast fireball and solve everything.
This is
It's
a
all-
big
no.
room.
If
The
you take
fireball
my
flies
kill,
The only thing Fireball solves is an itch for feeling inebriated.
No, did I ask you how big the room was, or did I say I'm thinking about casting fireball?
I was making a joke.
No, I know,
well,
me too.
quick question.
Hmm.
I mean, my gems, glow in the presence of the need to take vengeance. Um, does anything in my armor begin glowing when I'm near the prince?
Well, you feel a sense of vengeance. Are
Right.
you asking if it's something off of what you feel or something else?
Yeah, like the feel of vengeance would, I mean, especially because it's the will of the Tellurian,
Mhm.
it would let me know. And pretty much when it comes to my companions, it would know too, because parts of my armor would begin to glow. Specifically, like the places where it has the Tellurian on it. It would begin to glow green.
It would glow a little bit
Hmm.
while you were talking.
Does anybody else notice?
You see that Jacoby and Sai kind of glance at the light, but then they get back to talking.
Hmm. All right. I'm just going to leave that there for a little bit.
Gentlemen.
Gentlemen.
Balgroth turns on his heel and walks away following Isaiah.
Right. So y'all leave the castle?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it, Isaiah?
No, when I was reading his mind, there were other voices in there.
What do you mean, other voices?
That happens to me sometimes.
So there was his
Bill doesn't.
voice, and then there were other voices that weren't his.
I mean, yes, but I'm wondering how can what's his condition? I mean, I have a reason why I have multiple voices in my head. I mean,
Yeah, you do.
I'm literally undead. But
Yeah,
for
we
him,
are. I'm part of this conversation now.
Can I hear any of this
Yep,
or no?
Balgroth. What's
Balgroth, why
going
are you
on?
awkwardly
This is
pausing?
actually happening now.
Balgroth, why are you just staring off with a 1,000-mile stare?
because I have two voices in my head yet, yeah.
Ooh.
Oy. So so now apparently the prince has multiple personalities or
Whoa,
just
dude, that's
multiple
crazy.
voices.
You think he has a skull in his face too, man?
That
I
is
hope
You know
not.
what, Balgroth? Let me wait. Wait, can I hear? I can't hear him at all, right?
You
No.
cannot hear Jose, or no. What's the name again?
Cortez.
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 So,
Yeah,
so
he
if
can't
I
hear him.
try to read
Gary.
Balgroth, you say you have Cortez in your head, right?
I do.
I'm going to detect his thoughts.
Oh god.
What is Balgroth thinking right now?
I want to be done with this conversation already.
Help us. He's a bad
And
man.
then
Help us. Save us.
there's also just like, hey, yo, I know you can hear this. What's up, man?
Interesting.
See?
So I can. So he could have someone actually living in his head. Perhaps some sort of other psychic link is at play. Cortez, how are you? It's been too long.
Dude, this is a vibe.
How
I'm not a
how
big
is
fan of the
Balgroth?
mask, but it's a vibe.
You're not a big fan of what?
The mask.
Balgroth? Oh, the mask he's wearing. I see.
Yes.
Not
You and I are gonna fight.
That's what the mask is.
interesting. Well, huh? Perhaps, perhaps the prince is Para's operative, or being influenced by that person.
But if that was the case, how would we know? What would be the main connection between the two? Or at least, how could we find a way to sever that connection if it was there?
I could perhaps dispel it, but I'm not sure. And beyond that, I don't
I mean,
know.
like, why don't we just go in and see? You have to spell magic, don't you?
Yes, but if I start obviously casting spells in front of a royal, whether he's evil or not, we'll have quite the fight on our hands.
Why not just ask? Hey, can I try something here?
Have a magic
Just to help with the investigation?
You want to see a magic trick? I
Balgroth,
Good. Abracadabra.
Balgroth, you hear in the back of your head, it's Gary. Are you guys talking about using magic to get rid of mental illness? Because if that's what you're talking about, could I have some of that? I am
Does Gary have
not
voices in
feeling
his
great.
head?
Cortez, you are bipolar. I am depressed. This is not the same.
Does Gary have
both of
voices
you
in
need to
his
be
head?
part of CBT. Hmm. Let me think.
So what's
Well-
the next move, fellas?
I mean,
I was-
I don't know. I don't. Here,
What'll it be, fellas?
Wait a second, Cortez. Can you tell that I'm in his head, or do you only know because I said that's what I was going to do?
No, it's because I can hear you.
oh God.
Hmm.
And I know this guy probably doesn't have a skull inside his head. If I have 2 gold pieces every single time that we found someone with a skull inside another person's head, like a talking skull for another person's head, I'd have 1 gold piece, which isn't a lot, but it's amazing that it happened once.
Are you saying that this guy don't have a skeleton structure?
I don't.
That is true, my guy.
So now we're dealing with a guy who's not only, pretty much betrayed his entire family, but now has multiple personalities.
Dude, that sounds crazy. What do you guys get up to? What were you up to before you met me? It's
Pain.
crazy.
Yes.
Dude, same.
Well, you were in the grave. I was trying not to be.
Down. Do you know how many bugs crawled through my eye sockets? It's not pleasant.
How can you feel anything? You're a skull.
I love how we're only hearing one side of this conversation, I feel.
Yeah. I feel what I want to, man.
You know what? I'm just gonna leave that there. I'm just gonna leave that there.
Does he feel cravings for food at 1 a.m.?
Well,
Oh boy, 3 a.m. What's rummaging through that head of yours, Isaiah? I can't read your thoughts, but apparently you can read mine.
Gears
I
turning.
can quite easily. I'm worried about the jester at this point, because if he was nervous, that worries me. And
Has
we
he
don't
been
have a
taken?
clear way to proceed. I was hoping he could give us guidance on what to do if we want to remove Jacoby. But yes, seems we're in a bit of a pickle. The eggs have been deviled.
I mean, it would be easier just to go and put a sword in his head.
Perhaps. But then we wouldn't know who Par's operative is.
What if he is
probably go
Par's
to jail.
operative?
What if we
What's that?
tortured him? We should torture him.
What, you mean like capture him in the cover of night?
Sure.
Wait a second. Do we know? I don't think we know who the operative is. Let me check my old notes.
We could very easily.
Yeah, we still don't know necessarily who the operative is. This is the closest that we've gotten.
Velgroth, you hear in your head. You guys talking about regicide right now?
Maybe.
Why?
Because people are turning into trees and it's not a good thing.
Are you like at war with this place? But your kingdom's gone, isn't it?
Yes. So we're not necessarily at war, but long story short, there's this witch that's casting spells over the town of Miro, and we're trying to, take her out. And one of her operatives is here in the city, so we're trying to take that person out so we can get to the witch, and therefore we can kill her. And also on the way, we're trying to get our own personal agendas taken care of.
I know a
We can-
witch. I knew a witch.
Yeah, what's her name?
Be like,
What was that, Yip Yap?
we can be like, which one's your good hand? Ha! Wah, 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 wah. His vein.
Uh,
EPF's just mumbling this while Balgroth is introspecting.
Well, I suppose we could do some sort of interrogation, but I wouldn't want it to be traceable to us.
We just have to clean up after.
No, that's not how I meant it. We don't need that. I can provide an enhanced interrogation
So
without
can I.
torture.
Oh,
So how would you do that?
I would detect his thoughts, and in the words of John Jones, I would try harder.
true.
I think Sun Tzu is a better coach than that.
Basically, I would force my way in and find what I wanted.
Yeah, that's what I would do too, just like with his hand.
Me too, just with his life.
I mean, you can bleed out through your hand. So I've heard.
So I've heard.
My old mentor told me, if you chop someone's hand off and they can't stop the bleeding, they'll like die.
It's kind of what happens with both internal and external bleeding.
There's internal bleeding? Ooh.
Hey, internal
Yeah, but
bleeding's not that bad. That's where the blood's supposed to be.
yeah, I know. I mean, it should be okay, but I mean, apparently you still die, so it doesn't make any sense.
Blood doesn't matter. You know? I knew a guy who just poured a bucket of blood into his body and he was fine.
I don't have any blood in my body anymore.
I know, isn't it cool?
I am the void.
You know blood
Wait,
comes
you
from
don't?
veins?
You
Yeah,
don't
I
have blood
know.
anymore? That's wacky, man.
A wacky slush.
Well,
I think we should go in there and ask again.
Seems
all
like it.
right.
And take out the captain. Because I don't like him.
Well, seems a bit sudden for us to just go full violence mode.
Trying to think. Is there any. We can't find the jester. We have no advice from him. He could be in danger or dead. The king, the king is worthless.
We are literally out of options.
Let's see.
That's so
The
rude
prince
about
definitely
the
has someone keeping him abreast of the fish folk's origins. Perhaps we could follow him.
Follow him.
Yeah.
So what? Use your bird to tail him and see
Yeah.
where he goes?
Or I could turn Yip Yap invisible and send him in.
He can turn himself invisible.
Oh. During the day?
No.
Yip Yap.
I mean, yeah, but it takes like at least about 12 hours.
Yip Yap, come here. I want you to go spy on him.
Okay.
Boom.
How am I going to do that?
Concentration up to an hour.
Has he casted it on me yet?
Go spy on him.
I guess he did cast it.
I casted it on you.
So are y'all
Yeah.
outside by
Can
now,
you
or
not
are
see
y'all
it?
still?
I thought we were just
I just
outside
thought
of
we
the
were
throne.
walking out.
How do you
Yeah.
plan to? Oh.
Well, yeah, I
invisible.
assumed you guys were outside. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I go pitter patter off and spy on the throne room.
So you again just see Jacoby and Captain Sai and the guards talking. I bought this. I want to use this map. And as you get close, you hear them discuss. Sort of, obviously, because it's just the four of them, they're not whispering or anything.
So, when are you gonna kill your father? Well,
So how'd you do it? Anyway. You hear Sai and Jacoby talking about the transportation of certain fishing equipment in and out from an island that... So from, like, between Belmar and an island that they refer to as Stixer, and sort of trading fishing equipment to and from there in exchange for gold. And they're sort of annoyed at how costly all the gold they need.
I hope Yip Yap doesn't go rogue and just kill this guy. Well, we can't do anything about it.
I hope he doesn't be a rogue.
man.
Wow, that's a pretty vulnerable back you got there.
He's
It would
got a
be
really
a
nice-
shame if somebody stabbed you in it.
It's a nice spine you got there. It'd be a shame if someone were to sever it.
Yeah, it would. Be careful.
It's just a measly shiv, but it is quite effective when applied to the jugular.
Could have your back against the wall. Otherwise, someone might be
All right, yeah. What are you up to, my guy?
I'm just watching, patiently listening, feasting upon the words that dribble from their mouths.
He's literally in between them, just standing, looking straight up, just looking at both.
He's in the center of all four of them, just...
Yes. Just rotating around on his tail as each one takes turns.
Aboli. Aboli. Maybe I'm foolish and maybe
I'm
I'm
gonna-
blind.
Kill. This is why I stopped. I'm not casting the map on StreamYard anymore because it was getting too much. So you're just listening to them talk?
Yes.
Yep. Wow, this throne room is really pretty.
Oh.
As you move around Sai and Jacoby, can you roll a stealth with advantage?
I didn't actually weave in between them, by the way. That was just me being so.
Well, you walked close to them at some point. So just a stealth with disadvantage.
But he's invisible, so that ought to give him counteracting advantage.
Automatic
So
counter
regular
spell.
roll.
A base stealth roll.
The rules clearly state.
Okay. As you kind of sweep past them, just sort of moving around, you notice that Sai's tail stops waving like it was earlier and goes really still.
I go very still, also.
They change the subject from this island Stixer and the trading to the sort of news from other continents. Mostly they talk about Sione and Setya.
What about Sione?
They speak a bit about the pirates that go around the shores there, about the recent kingdom that got burned down, because that's just now like news to them. And the bounty hunter like sport going on right now.
I already know about that going on.
gonna make a move yet?
Does Jacoby seem like a guy who would talk under interrogation of hand flaying?
Roll an insight.
Goodness.
Watch us have been lied to the whole time, and he's like the nicest guy in the world.
Hmm.
Mm. I don't
Jeez,
believe it.
dude.
Does he even have hands?
What was your question?
I was wondering if he seemed like a guy who would quake under the interrogation of hand flaying.
Yeah, he seems like an easy target. He doesn't seem like someone who fights much. You notice that Sai's tail starts sort of shaking again like it was earlier, but it's not emitting the rattling sound now. And he moves his hand up to rub against his forehead and pushes his eye patch up. And beneath the eye patch, you see that he has a false eye in his head.
Magic
And it's made out of silver. And it shifts towards you.
I shift
And
away. I shift away.
real eyes, realize.
and Sai kind of looks around and starts making that rattling noise from his tail. And Jacoby and the guards stop talking and sort of just say their farewells and move off, with the guards going towards the door and Jacoby and Sai going up towards the throne that is empty.
Jerk's tail.
I pitter patter back out of the room.
Okay.
And I try to find the others.
I would have stayed in the throne room to investigate how the throne was.
It was soft.
Alright. So you go out of the doors, you open and close them, and the guards are just like, what? But they don't do anything about it.
Oh no, I sneak through as they're opening it.
They don't. What? They weren't
What?
leaving.
I thought you said some people went out one door.
They were going towards the door to stand guard at it.
Mm.
As Jacoby and Sai went up to the throne.
Yeah.
But like I said, they just watch it open and close and don't do anything about it. It's just the wind.
Must have been the wind. Must have been the wind.
So yeah, you find Balgroth and Isaiah were just kind of standing across the street.
Guys, out of nowhere.
Whoa.
What you learn?
They're smuggling some like fishing supplies between a place called Belmar and a place called Strixer. They're trading fishing equipment for gold, and that it's costly and it's annoying to Jacoby. And there's apparently pirates around the shore of Sione. And a kingdom there was burnt down.
Well, that gives us a slight lead, because what kind of fishing? We can already suspect what kind of fishing supplies they're trading.
I don't know. I wrote that in my notes as like PH. So
They're telling us how much chlorine is in the water.
So is that
what's chlorine?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
boy based?
So yeah.
So the equipment they're buying is too expensive. They just found out about the city. Anything? What was the other thing?
And there's pirates around Sione.
Oh, yes.
Pirates.
I say we investigate those fishing supplies, because if we find that, then we make an actual connection to the prince.
Yes, what kind of terrible person would sell malevolent fishing supplies in this area?
Right.
Anyway, I guess we have to sneak up on all the Cyclops.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
would say.
To the docks, gentlemen.
All right. You guys go off, and that's where we're going to end the session for tonight. With you going to wait for Captain Sai at the docks.
Nice. I want to cut off this man's tail. It annoys me. If we don't deal with anything, I'm cutting off this man's rattle tail.
All right.
Reminds me
Well,
of
I hope you
Miro.
guys enjoyed playing, and I hope you guys watch this video back so I get views on YouTube. And also because you don't forget it, because you don't want to forget your nose on this one. And I'll see you next week. Bye.
Boy.